everyone. I want to talk about a major and often invisible reason why so many health programs fail, even when they are thoughtfully designed, well staffed, and deeply needed in their communities. It's a problem that drains funding, damages credibility, and limits long term impact across the entire field of health promotion. The issue is post hoc evaluation, or the practice of waiting until the end of a program to think about how you're going to measure success. And it's one of the most costly mistakes in public health. Across organizations, big and small, there's a persistent belief that evaluation is something you can simply bolt on at the end, after a program has run, after participants have completed the activities, and after the outcomes should have been achieved. But here's the truth. If you don't design your evaluation from the very beginning, you don't actually know what you're measuring, or whether your data can tell the real story. Without early evaluation planning, programs often miss baseline data, comparison groups, pre-intervention measures, properly aligned tools, and consistent data collection procedures. And once those opportunities are gone, they're gone. Even strong programs can look ineffective simply because they did not collect the right data at the right time. One of the quiet tragedies in health promotion is that effective programs are often labeled unsuccessful, not because they failed, but because the evaluation tools did not match the objectives. The wrong participants were measured, or the outcomes were not captured in a valid or reliable way. Or, worse still, meaningful changes weren't measured at all. Imagine running a stress reduction program but only measuring someone's physical activity level, or improving community engagement but only tracking body weight change, or increasing knowledge but never administering a pretest. A program can create real change that never shows up in the data. Another hidden reason programs fail on paper is that evaluation often ends up targeting the most convenient participants, not the ones the program was actually designed for. When your evaluation sample doesn't match your intended population, your results can be inaccurate, unrepresentative, or completely meaningless. You might conclude that your intervention just didn't work, when in reality, it simply didn't measure the people you were trying to reach. Health programs frequently aim to shift beliefs, motivations, community norms, and confidence, as well as long-term behavior changes. But evaluations most frequently measure short-term numbers, attendance only, surface-level checklists, or metrics that don't actually capture deeper, meaningful change. When programs and goals and evaluation measures don't align, the data becomes a distorted reflection of reality. And when programs can't demonstrate their impact, even if the impact is real, they often lose funding, momentum, and long-term support. Across the field, sponsors and funders now demand evaluation plans to be explained before implementation, clear logic models, aligned objectives and outcomes, measurable indicators, and credible, rigorous data collection tools. Why? Because funders have seen strong programs crumble simply because they could not prove their value. Evaluation is no longer an add-on, it's the gatekeeper for sustainability. The real cost of poor evaluation planning is evident in every part of your program. Poor or late evaluation planning often results in lost grant renewals, decreased credibility, inability to scale or replicate programs, weakened community trust, misinterpretation of program effectiveness, and wasted resources, as well as missed opportunities to learn and improve. And in many cases, entire programs are discontinued simply because they did not work, but because the evaluation didn't work. When you build evaluation into the program from day one, you collect the right baseline data, align outcomes with program goals, choose valid measurement tools, track implementation quality, monitor changes over time, ensure that cultural and contextual relevance is involved, and you create a clear roadmap for interpreting results. In other words, early planning ensures that your data tells the truth about your program. So the next time you begin designing a program, ask yourself, how will I know if this worked? If the answer is vague, if you're planning to figure it out later, or if you haven't aligned your measures with your goals, then the program is vulnerable before it ever begins. Great programs fail every year because their evaluation was an afterthought. But with early and intentional planning, you can protect your program, demonstrate its value, and contribute meaningful evidence that drives health improvement for the long term. Evaluation isn't just a technical requirement, it's the key to impact, credibility, sustainability, and transformation.